Hey, welcome to the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast with me, Iona Meade at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. And today is Health Freedom Tuesday. So we're going to be talking about balancing your health and your wealth. If you are new to me, every single Tuesday I go live at the Soul Legacy TV to talk about spiritual business success, but also your health and what that means in terms of relating to your business success, what it means to relating to your lifestyle, and bringing health into all of excuse me, what I call the seven freedoms. So the Seven Freedoms Frequency podcast, daily I journal, daily I visualize with you, daily we set intentions around your health, we set intentions around living an intentional life and your vision for 7 areas. So health is just one of them. So if we put health into context with these other areas for living intentionally. So I talk about, if you are new to me, and if you're not new, you'll know that I talk about contribution freedom on a Monday as one of the first of the Seven Freedoms Frequency areas of your life, living into your contribution, creating a life purpose-led business. And so I'm going to talk about that in terms of how healthy that feels for you right now. And we'll talk about health in terms of your assessing your own health and reflecting your health on a Tuesday. We talk about emotional freedom on Wednesdays, so we'll relate health to that. Environmental freedom is Thursdays. Emotional freedom on Wednesdays, environmental freedom on Thursdays, relationship freedom on Fridays, spiritual freedom on Saturday, and financial freedom on Sunday. So I call these the intentional living codes, meaning that I believe these are 7 areas of your life that we can live an intentional life by and set a vision for and live into having a healthy lifestyle and balancing your health and wealth and manifesting more life-work balance. So that's the theme, that's the topic that I talk about every single Tuesday. We reflect back from last Tuesday to this Tuesday, see what's been going on for you health-wise, and then set intentions throughout the next week. Because so it's a practical YouTube podcast where we journal. I have my journal. This has turned out to be my video journal. So this journal is the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy and host at the Soul Legacy TV. And having the Soul Legacy movement is about improving the mental health and supporting and improving the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation. That's the mission that I'm on with my Soul Legacy movement. That's what my YouTube channel is about. That's what my work is about. And also escaping poverty and elevating prosperity. So the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation is something that welcome. Let me know where you're watching from. Is something that, we can't do alone, right? We can set intentions for ourselves, but we can't manifest for other people. However, we can be at the vibration that we wish to witness in the world. Apologies for that cutting off. Hopefully you can still hear me. And so that's where that's the space that I come from every single Tuesday, but also all of my work is about that. So I journal. And I invite you to journal in whatever journal that speaks to you. I like to say at the Soul Legacy Journal, it's a blank notebook, right? It's just basically a place to reflect and live an intentional life and just connect with the work and the ideas and the things that I'm sharing with you on this podcast. So I call this 365 Days of Your Spiritual Awakening Story, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. And so I have a co-authored book series that goes with that journal where I have my co-authors share their spiritual awakening stories. And some of our spiritual awakening story, when we go through a dark night of the soul, it might be that we're triggered our spiritual awakening as a light worker, as a service-based business owner, as a spiritual entrepreneur through health. Right. There's many things that will trigger our awakening, whether it's for our purpose, through our health, through our emotions, depression, grief, anxiety, through our environment. I was bankrupt, homeless, all of the areas. I talk about that in my book, all of the areas. I don't go really in depth. All of the areas that affected me in my life that triggered my spiritual awakening and had led me to have my movement to improve the mental health and well-being of our nation and our future generation, because when I was going through my dark night of the soul, I had no clue what was happening. I thought I was crazy. Like, I literally, those times where you're like, I literally don't want to be here. I'm done, kind of thing. And it's quite a scary place to be alone behind closed doors. And so I've written about it in my book, Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a Soul Guided Influencer's Compass to Leverage Your Lightwork and Lifestyle on YouTube. And one of the reasons why I talk about spiritual awakening, and I wanted to talk about it on my YouTube channel, is because that's where I went and I heard the most about spiritual awakening. I have the spiritual awakening, the #1 spiritual awakening annual YouTube summit, where my guests, my fellow soul guided influencers, will talk about their spiritual awakening story. For me, living an intentional life came from that. So having a spiritual awakening, it might be through a relationship. I've had spiritual awakenings through many relationships, and I believe I'm probably going through another one, right? And I had a spiritual awakening through that connection, learning about the connection, learning that we're energy, learning about the universal laws. And a lot of my guests and students have come from the upbringing of having a religious background, and that not feeling enough for them to explain how life works and how they want to move in life. And so a spiritual awakening may come through finances. So that's why I want to speak about how healthy each area of your life feels, so that you can build into having a healthy lifestyle. And I'm here learning, sharing what's going on with me. And I do this YouTube podcast for you, but I also do it for my students, and I do it for myself first. So as the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy, we talk about launching our day, leading our day, and leaving our day, and how you feel, not only like in this moment, let me know how you feel in this moment, right? But like how you feel when you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. And by that, I just mean what's going on for you. How healthy is your morning routine? How healthy is your daytime routine? How healthy is your nighttime routine? And what are the things that are working really well for you? And what are the things that you can let go? And what are the things that you want to actually include and incorporate into your life to make sure that you are balancing that health and that wealth? And so this is why we visit this area every single Tuesday. We can't afford to drop it off. All right. And so if you are new to me, and if you're not new to me and you haven't done my spiritual business vision board challenge, then I invite you to do that. I leave the links in the cards in the show notes, in the description as well. The spiritual business vision board challenge is a vision board challenge that you can go through at any time, but I do it live, so you can watch the replay. We take 7 days to really break down each area of your life, and day 2 is about health. And so I do this annually live on my YouTube channel for free. And it's the second week in December at 7:30 p.m. UK time, Monday to Sunday, because I do believe that it's that important to set aside a time every single year to really reflect. And so if you watch the replay, just set aside a week. Did I say set aside a year? Set aside a week each year to really reflect, to give yourself that gift, and it will give you a lot more welcome. It will give you a lot more momentum to balance your lifestyle and light work, and see where your lifestyle feels healthy, and moving towards that wealth, moving towards whatever wealth and prosperity means to you. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift that you can give yourself. So I invite you to do that. I invite you to also share it out. I invite you to body up and do it with others. If you want to let me know, excuse me, my voice is breaking. If you want to let me know how you're doing with it, then I have a Facebook group called the Spiritual Business Vision Board Party and Bank 50K 50 Days Challenge. All right. So post all of your videos and your responses and your vision boards in there, so I can see them and we can see them. And we've got a chat for each day. And again, I do it annually live, but you're more than welcome as a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, as a member of that group, to be really clear on your vision. And it will help with these daily YouTube podcasts where I get to support you every single Tuesday based on your health, but every single day based on each of those areas on that vision board. All right. And I'm supporting myself. So excuse me, let's dive into the episode in terms of this first segment of how do you feel. And so on the Spiritual Business Vision Board Challenge, we frame health in terms of your mental health, your emotional health. I'm going to look down because I usually miss them out. Your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, your social health, all of the health, your environmental health. How do you feel in terms of, is there any area of your life that it feels like it's lacking or lagging or just dragging right now? It doesn't feel in flow. Are you taking care of you? Right? Are you taking care of you? I would love to support you in taking care of you as part of my movement and as part of my soul work and the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy. I gift my boot campers and my masterminders who show up on my masterclass when you enroll. If you enroll as an early bird, I have a space on the last Monday of the month to share what it is that I do to help you manifest that life work balance. And if you enroll with me at that time, I will gift you what I call the 7 Freedoms Frequency call-in gym. And that is a space. It's a 2-hour monthly call to support you in balancing your light work and your lifestyle and not allow your health to kind of go off by the wayside. I'm not a licensed or trained healthcare practitioner. That's not what it's about. It's about setting those intentions. And many of my students are super, super talented and they know that they're powerful manifestors. And we know that disease in the body starts from our thoughts, and our feelings and our actions, right? Our habits. And so I talk about moving from a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. So let's think about how you feel. So my rating for my health is an 11. I love where I'm at right now. And I say right now, when people say right now, I always think, why do you say right now? Like it's going to change. It fluctuates. But I love where I am. And we rate our vibrational frequency between a 1 and 11 daily. So yesterday was Contribution Freedom Mondays, CFM equals 11. And so today's Health Freedom Tuesday. So Health Freedom, HFT equals 11. So you can abbreviate that in your journal, right? And so then when we get to the end of the week, when we get to Sunday, we'll see where you're vibing and what actually area of your life that needs attention and needs where energy, what's the same? Where attention goes, energy flows, right? So you've done your rating. I've done my rating. We think about our vision for health. And I would invite you to take some time. If you have not done my vision board challenge, you will see a vision of your health on your vision board, right? It's a Canva vision board. It's a digital one. You can do it on a quote board if you want to. You can do it in a book if you want to. I've had students do that. But we create a video montage. And so when you play your video montage, your video, like Mind Movie do that, like they play the vision and it goes into your subconscious because that's when you're manifesting, right? You set those conscious, hey love, you set those conscious intentions, but set those conscious intentions, but it's in your what goes into your subconscious that is you notice you're doing, you're feeling your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So what vision, when you look at your vision board for health, it's day 2 again. What does that look and feel like? And how can you reverse engineer your thoughts, your feelings, your actions to be in alignment? So you're raising your vibrational frequency so that your now life looks like your desired life. So Shamanic Soul Star TV, Cosmic Inner Healing is on with us on the YouTube channel, which is Kalini, our lead soul guide instructor. Good morning, my lovely. Good morning, beautiful. How are you doing? And I'll say how you're doing for the purposes of the YouTube podcast, but I kind of know how you're doing because we've been chatting this morning via Messenger, and I'm going to have to get you over to Telegram. Hopefully you're doing really well. And I'll talk about health and what you've just sent me, which I have no clue of what they are. So I'm really looking forward to learning more about that. But I will bring that into today's content because, like, you know what I'm like. So health. What is your vision for health on your vision board? And when you play your vision board, how does that make you feel? How healthy is your contribution on your vision board? Does it feel like you've got that balance? For me, moving into my contribution freedom, I love the contribution that I have. Have I balanced it all completely evenly? No, not yet. As I did the vision board challenge in December, and I set intentions, because I'm doing my soul work and then I teach it, I'm doing it, teaching it, doing it, and teaching it. I'm not completely at the place where I've automated everything and I've got everything recorded, but I still have, I still follow my guidance, and I still have enough balance, and it still feels healthy. And I'm actually not in the place of burnout anymore, right? So I was contributing before, and I've never been really burnt out by my business, by my soul work. Welcome. I've never been burnt out by my soul work, but I was burnt out by doing extra work on the side, which the extra work was being a kinship foster carer. That was burning me out. So now I don't have that. It's taken me a while to recover and to move back into the space of serving online after a good couple of years out, a year definitely with the children, but I was rebranding and doing the things. So it feels healthy to me. Does it feel healthy to you, the business model that you're building, and how you're launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day, right? Does it feel like, do you need to make some tweaks, right? Is it really, like when people visualize what they want and then it's not really for the highest good and they're too afraid to change it? It's like, take something off the vision board that you've thought that you wanted, but you don't. Put something else on it, it's okay. It's okay. I like to try things on and then take them off. For me, my contribution feels healthy, and to other people, it feels like, oh, well, that's a lot of work. And I'm like, dude, you're doing that work, but you're doing it all over the place and scattered anyway. What usually happens is people come to me and they're not clear on their vision, and they're not clear on the business model, and they're not clear on how to put themselves out there. And so everything feels scattered. And it doesn't feel like a healthy business model because it's all over the place, right? And so I was able to feed the cycle of my business model in terms of my lifestyle and my marketing and my content and my coaching and once you get that and you're able to build a life purpose-led business, it's just beautiful. So how does your contribution to the world feel? How healthy does it feel? Is it supporting your mental health? Are you beating yourself up? Like, how does it feel? All right, and journal it. Any questions that I ask is like, oh, you're firing so many questions at me. Anything that sparks, hopefully this will inspire you to really dissect, not overanalyze, but dissect and set intentions, or just let go of the things that are not serving you. How healthy does your health feel in terms of what is on your vision board? How are you launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day? One of the biggest things for me that is on my vision board is sleep. And then I came to the point where I was just at peace with the sleep. And I started to work out, started to do Insanity at the beginning of 2024, 1st of January, 2024. Then I was talking about that I dropped off for a couple of weeks from working out, and my cycle was late. And I said I was talk about it more on Health Freedom Tuesday, being 50 and my cycle being like two weeks late. I'm like, what the heck? So I felt tired. So I didn't actually work out, and I dropped off intentionally, but dropped off and then got back on it. So I'm on it. So I feel really good, but I feel good wherever I'm off or on, if that makes sense. But my sleep was just absolutely amazing at the beginning of the year because I was working out. And if you've ever looked up the Insanity workout, you'll know it's for insane people. It's hardcore. It's really hard. And I thought, oh, that's probably helping me sleep. Well, it was helping me sleep. So when I stopped doing it, I noticed the difference. So if you're not sleeping as well, like maybe you don't need to do anything about it. Maybe it's your daily, maybe it's your nutrition, maybe it's your water intake, maybe it's your thoughts, maybe it's your routines, maybe whatever it is. When do you get a better night's sleep? I've had broken sleep for the longest time since I was pregnant with my son, and my son would have been 29 this year. He made his transition 12 days before his 20th birthday. So it's a really long time that I was like, oh, well, this is kind of just how it is. Like, but then sleeping really well, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So my sleep has got better. And last night, excuse me, yesterday I fell asleep before I'd actually finished the routine that I'd set on my, no, I didn't set it on my vision board, but as a result of doing all the things that I want to achieve on my vision board, the intentions that I set, I was like, okay, well, this is the routine. Well, I fell asleep before I actually completed that routine. I've been talking about this, how I end my day, how I leave my day. Excuse me. So I didn't do my tapping. Excuse me. I didn't do my guided meditation, and I did not do my reading. Spirit said, wake up and get it done. So it was like, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock. I don't even know what time it was. I was like, are you for real? It felt like, and I laughed to myself, because when you have a habit, when you form a habit, it feels weird. When it becomes a habit, it feels weird not to do it. So it felt that weird and out of alignment and out of integrity to not do it, to just fall asleep without this new routine. And it's only like the last few days that I decided, oh, well, this is going to be my routine. And it's like, so I literally got up and I did the routine. I was like, okay, you're like, you know, when your thoughts and your feelings and when your thoughts do not support you, meaning that the thoughts, your mental health or your emotional health is kind of pushing away the things that you want to manifest. Your subconscious is like against, putting a barrier up against what it is that you want to do, you know, when you find it hard. And I'm like, oh, great. On top of that, I will say, like, brace yourself. On top of too much information going to be shared, it's health freedom. So we're going to talk about all things health. And I share what's going on with me. I'm kind of like skirting around it. All right, here goes. What also woke me up in the middle of the night is that I needed to go to the loo. I needed to empty my bowels, let's put it that way, right? And when you drink more, because I've been drinking like the set amount of water that I want to drink, I have not quite got up to the 2 liters. Every time I work up to a new routine, and when you work up to your routine, yes, you might have done the vision board, but it takes staggering into, you don't want to set so many goals, so many intentions that you're like beat yourself up because all of a sudden you're not that person. It takes a while, so I always give myself grace, right? And so I woke up, that it woke me up, and I was like, okay, that is the result of drinking, having more water or herbal tea intake. And actually, by working out again, my metabolism has really kicked in, and it's just releasing and releasing and releasing. And I was like, well, I want to have the beach body and be hench, and apparently, evidently, this is what it takes, because I'd fallen asleep without doing that whole routine. It woke me up in the middle of the night. So my body has kicked into, and I was thinking, I wonder if it's in ketosis or close to it, and that's great. Normally I will fast, and I will put my body into ketosis intentionally, but my metabolism has speeded up. So I'm not complaining that, you know, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was doing to me it doesn't matter. I did fall asleep later on. I actually listened to some messages on Messenger, and sent Khalidi a message earlier. I was like, sorry, I got a download here, that's for you. I like the early hours in the morning. I know that the late Dr. Wayne Dyer would say that when you wake up in the early hours, do not go back to sleep. That's what he'd say. Do not go back to sleep. It's that quiet time. They call the like the 333 and those times like the witching hours, right? And so I was just like basking. Instead of beating myself up or thinking this is wrong, it's like, I felt good. Am I wise enough to know that am I going to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and stay awake all day? Yeah, no, that's not the intention. But when spirit leads you, listen to whatever that is. Might not look and feel the way that you think. As long as I get my sleep, and that doesn't happen every single day, I'm good with it. It happens for me. Let me know if it happens for you. How is your sleep? How healthy do you feel? In changing any kind of health routine, that's what happens to me when I'm downloading or I'm up leveling. All right, so how healthy are your emotions? So that's day 3 of the spiritual business vision board. If you are not listening to your emotions and you're not acknowledging your emotions, and I'll talk about this tomorrow on Emotional Freedom Wednesday, moving up and down the emotional scale. And I most definitely have moved up and down the emotional scale today, which I won't go into it today, but I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel that good. And I shed tears, and I'm not a crier. I'm so not a crier. And I was like, oh, bear in mind, again, I'm a lady of 50, and whatever is happening with me hormonally, but also what's important to me. So I was like, that doesn't feel good. And so because I show up every single day, I show up, speak out, and serve deep, my brain says any emotions that you feel, any experiences that you're going through, you have to share it. Because and I don't feel sad. It's something just upset, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. And on Relationship Freedom Friday, something upset me, and I was like, oh, an expectation, I suppose. And I was like, oh, but it's normal. It's okay to normalize that. What we don't want to do is have someone like myself show up every single day and you think that I never experience an emotion, or I portray that I never experience an emotion, or on the emotional scale, until Emotional Freedom Wednesday. No, the idea is to see how we feel, and how healthy our emotions are. And it's healthy. It's healthy to feel that. It's healthy to recognize it. It's healthy to cry. It lets out toxins in the body. And it makes you feel alive, like you care about stuff or whatever it is, right? So how healthy, how in tune are you numbing out? Are you numbing out? Because sometimes when we go through whatever, we mask how we feel to ourselves, or we and don't feel comfortable with feeling the way that we feel. How do you feel about your emotions? I'm good with that. How healthy is your environment? Are you doing the things that need to be done in order to, one, support your business, but also support your lifestyle? And you don't have one without the other. For me, I'm really enjoying my daily walk, getting out in nature, because I'm sat behind a desk. And I'm not actually, I'm intentionally not sitting behind this desk as much, but I am sat behind a desk, or I'm going to actually go home and do my workout, because I didn't do it before, because I'd gone back to sleep, and do my workout, and actually going to have a laptop bed day and create from there, because I've got some recordings to prepare for. So how healthy is your environment? Like, just because you've got a vision doesn't mean to say that you set your intentions and it has to be rigid. I'm not that person. I'm like, how do I feel today? As long as I do what I had set the intention to do, then how I do it doesn't really matter. It's just how I feel inspired, or how, if your emotions are pushing and pulling you to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm going to retreat and recharge, fine. But also things still need to get done. So how do you adapt in your environment? How do you have your environment work for you? Hopefully that makes sense. Excuse me. How healthy are your relationships? How healthy is a relationship with you? And this is the thing that triggered me today. And I was listening to the book called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Got to the end of the book and I started it again. And I will listen to it again on Health Freedom Tuesdays. Louise Hay talks about, I talk about this on my Prosperity Thinkers series. I have a direct quote from her, and I'll butcher it. But basically, this is when I learned from Louise Hay, the late Louise Hay, and I love that they've left a legacy, right? I can listen to Louise Hay's book anyway. And that's how I believe in legacy, right? And so she talks about your thoughts and the energy of your thoughts being sent out into the universe and that coming back to you, right? Like how we manifest. Because oftentimes we think that manifestation and the law of attraction is just everything's coming to me, I've put it on my vision board and that's it. But the energy of our thoughts, the energy of our words, we're soul speaking into existence, we're thinking into existence, we're acting into existence. And so our relationship with us, our relationship with the universe, our relationship with those around us impact our emotions and how we feel. And again, I'll talk about this on on Emotional Freedom Wednesday, because when we have the right relationships around us that support us, it's like night and day. And so what I will say is that in the middle of waking up in the middle of the night, where I was listening to a voice note, and the voice note was something similar to what I experienced. And I was like, meaning that when we go through our awakening and we do our soul work in the world as light workers, as service-based business owners, as spiritual entrepreneurs, oftentimes we don't have people around us that actually get it or get us, and we hide. Or we feel like people are sabotaging our journey, or we feel like we're not worthy, we're not good enough, or we are one person online and then we're another person in the real world, in our own world, and then merging. And I've made a vow to merge the two. And so I'm merging into a relationship, and sharing my work is a really big deal. And so I will talk about it on Relationship Freedom Friday, where when you share and just holding space for yourself and feeling vulnerable and feeling open and feeling that's what that was today. And I was like, that doesn't feel good. That's not the response that I wanted or expected or what have you. And did I blow that out of proportion, or is this, do you know what I mean? Like, it's being in a vulnerable place to be able to share what it is that you do with your loved ones, and for them to get it. And if they don't get it, it's like, I don't love being on camera. I don't love it. And so, but I will be on it anyway, because that's part of me sharing my message. So that was an emotional trigger for me before I came on. And I'm like, okay, I'm healed enough to be in the space where I'm just going to come up and just be me anyway. However, our subconscious, from memories and files, can take us out and act and react. And I'm like, no, I'm going to take some space, and I'm going to not have that engulf and change the direction and the trajectory that I'm going. And again, I'll talk about it on a little bit on Emotional Freedom Wednesday, and a little bit on Relationship Freedom Friday. It's not like, doesn't have to be massive, but we do have to acknowledge how we feel. And I'll journal about it. This is my video journal. Let's think of health and your spiritual connection. Louise Hay was talking about this in her Heal Your Life. She was talking about her trusting the universe and trusting her guides, and trusting when she had gotten ill, that every step that she was moving to her healing. I've actually listened to this book before, but I hadn't heard about her mum, and her mum breaking her back, and her mum not going blind, and her mum, all the things, and her sister, Louise Hayes, and the journey that she went on, and asking for, just saying, right, okay, well, I'm in this position, I'm going to look after her, but it's asking the universe to provide for her and support her. And lo and behold, she's getting what she needs, and always trusting that she will be provided for. She will be guided, that life will give her what she needs. Everything will show up. I love Louise Hay's work. And that's where I want to come from, that space of having that connection, trusting it so deeply. When we go through as an experience of lack, or we don't have the things that we want on our vision board, it's bridging that gap to know that you're feeling like it's manifested already. You're feeling like you're supported anyway. That's that spiritual and that soul, that spiritual freedom and that soul guidance for me. Financial freedom. How healthy are your finances? When we do our light work in the world, right, and we're giving, we've got to be open to receiving. There's that health and that wealth balance. So how healthy do you feel in terms of that? All right, let's move on from how you feel and your vision and how you launch, lead, and leave your day, what I will invite you to do is launch your day, put the things in place, visualize how you're launching your day before you even get out of bed. Like, how's this day going to go? And I think for me, that's what I need to do more of, setting the intention for the day rather than being pushed and pulled by a conversation. So I would have a conversation with my partner in the morning, and I'm like, oh, this is just amazing. You know, when you meet somebody and it's new, and I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't feel nice. And I'm like, regardless of how that conversation goes, I want to segment into my day to the next segment of my day to make sure that that feels good all day long, not actually spiral. And so I walked out of the house, put Louise Hay in, and was beaming and smiling. And I'm like, gosh, you've grown so much. It's not avoiding difficult conversations, and it's not avoiding communicating. It's like, how you're going to move into the next segment of your day. Does that make sense? So how do you feel? Do you feel in self-funk, or do you feel in self-love? And could be contributing to the fact that waking up in the middle of the night, right? Being out of that routine. How can you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day in terms of it feeling really good and healthy? I'm adjusting mine, and I've not completely got it right. Not right, but like, this is, and I know from experience what works for me. And I'm like, dancing with fueling my body in the morning, because normally I wouldn't eat, I would fast, and I feel really good fasting and skipping breakfast. But because I'm doing weights and because I'm doing the insanity, I want to fuel my body, so I've jigged around my launching my day to be healthy, but my body is adjusting and getting used to it and fitting it in the morning. So I haven't quite, it's not just a natural habit yet. If that's what I mean. But how you launching your day, leading your day, and leaving your day. I know I want to make sure I've got the calories in. I'm calorie counting, but not in the way that is like, I use an app to make sure I'm getting the fuel. Like I said, I'm increasing my intake. And anyway, it's working because my metabolism is, and I feel really good. So how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. What are the things that you can let go of or allow in slowly over this next week? Write that down, journal it. And if it doesn't go like according to plan on the first go around, don't worry about it. Keep going if it feels good. Just keep going if it feels good and it's something that you what was I listening to? I was listening to something. Can't remember. And basically the idea was that you will eventually have those habits. You're stepping, it might be either my tapping, I think it was my tapping for the million, by Brad Yates, and he was saying basically you're allowing yourself to become the version of you who has that million. You're allowing yourself to be the version of you, and we can liken it to all areas of our life, to be really healthy, to, what was it? I see a visual image, to have the healthy, it was an ad. I was listening to Vishen Lakhiani, and the ad was Bert Freeman, I think. I remember seeing his work years ago, and he was saying quantum jumping. That's what it was, quantum jumping. And he said there's alternate universes, and tapping into the essence and the version of you who is that millionaire, who is healthy, who has that relationship, and bringing it into now and allowing yourself to actually go on that journey to being that. And if there's a gap, then you've got to learn to bridge that gap, right? It's not always comfortable. It's not always comfortable. So launching your day, leading your day, leaving your day, write that down in your journal. I would love to know what it is that you will focus on for your health. Let me know in the comments. Let me know on the 7 Frequency call engine if you are a student in the Soul Legacy Academy. So I'm going to break this episode up with the card for today, which ended up being, this was yesterday's card, hang on, 3 cards today from Keepers of the Light. I'm not actually going to read all 3 because it would make the show even longer. But I was shuffling, and this is what I do every single day. I'm shuffling, and I'm like, okay, whatever intention it is for today, It's health freedom. So I'm shuffling. It's like, what do we need to know? What do I need to know for health freedom? And I'm like, shuffling, shuffling, and no cards are coming out. I'm like shuffling. And then these three just shoot out onto the floor. And I'm like, dude, we're not doing 3 cards. I'm like, okay, we're doing 3 cards. I wanted to put them back. I hadn't looked at them. I was like, I just want 1 card. But apparently we're going to have 3 today. So the first one is Deval Cool. It says Dharma unfolding. And I definitely believe that, like, for relationships and stuff, it's like all of that is my Dharma. Remember that you are on a path. Take 1 step at a time to happiness. It doesn't all just come and that's it. Right. So I'm going to read these myself. So if you have the Keepers of the Light, read that. And then the next one was Commander Ashtar. I haven't had that for a while. I haven't had all of these for a while, actually. Call to action. Take charge, lead by example, walk your talk. Now, I just decided to just take some space. That's me taking charge. Lead by example is remembering my path, right? And so walking my talk is me here walking my talk. And I'm like, how much do I share? How much do I share with my life that's going on in the moment? And I do share. I just share it all anyway. But it's like, how do I share that it's sensitive and it's respectful, but it's acknowledging? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll share it. So it's walk my talk, lead by example. I always want to do that because it's me being in integrity. And then I got hope, love and acceptance. That's what it is. Love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts rather than having my mind go off on massive tangents and sabotage not only my relationship, but sabotage what I'm doing here, sabotage. You know how we do, you know how you're like, well, if this is said or this is thought, then it must be this, then it must be that, and it must be this, and then it must be that. And all of that stuff just is not love and acceptance. Like, love is yours. Recognize your divine worth. Choose loving thoughts. So I'm going to choose loving thoughts. Now, we're going to do gratitude. Then we're going to do the Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge. And then we're going to wrap up. I want to say that, Kalini, you are on here. I know that you might be multitasking. But you sent me in the DMs as we talk and we have our conversation. And again, I get downloads and I gift them. I just like share them because I know kind of what's for me and what's not for me. But we were talking about your group and your journey and your YouTube channel, etc., and talking about the shamanic stones for grounding and balance and balancing energy, I believe. Well, I have no idea what these shamanic stones are. Well, you guys might know because you guys are into the shamanic journey and what have you. This is so new for me. But I wanted to say that I thank you so much for your invitation to join your community and join your shamanic soul sisters for your moon rituals and understanding that. And as I was saying to you on the DM, like our health, balancing our health and our wealth, acknowledging that we are energy, and we're being led by that. I know that many of my students are so in tune with all of that stuff, and I'm not. And I purposely didn't explore it more. And I don't need to be an expert in everything. I let you guys do whatever you need to do and just guide me as well, selfishly. But I'm always of the mind of, like, when people say, oh, the moon or what have you. Actually, my partner had said that, like, one of his friends is affected by the moon energy. He's aware. And I was like, really shocked. And his friend's aware. I was like, oh, okay. And we were talking when we had our first date and we were walking under the light of the moon, holding hands, and talking about the moon and the energy. So I'd love to be part of that and learn more. I just always want to be mindful of not just allowing something, I will say external, it's not really, is it? Because we're energy, but that external force, I think sometimes people use certain tools to use them as an excuse for shitty behavior, basically. So I'd love to learn more of that grounding and that balance. So thank you for that invite. All right, I'm going to say gratitude, and then we're going to do the Bank 50K and 50 Days Challenge. And I'm going to respect your time and hop off. I'm going to actually read these cards. So let me put them over there. All right. So the way that we do express gratitude on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is, saying I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate, something in the past, something in the present, or something in the predicted future. And whatever I was listening to or reading, I was reading the manifest, what's that? Make It Happen, Manifest the Life of Your Dreams. And that's my bedtime reading by Jordan 11, I think she's called. And she was talking about manifesting and setting intentions and believing your manifestation before it happens. So this is what we're doing. So in order for your vision to manifest, you've got to believe that it is happening. Now, I know it can be a challenge, but we're going to express gratitude anyway. And she talks about gratitude, and if you are not grateful for what you experienced, which I think I was talking about yesterday, then it's kind of like not being grateful for the birthday card, or the great birthday present. You ain't getting another one from that person the next year, right? So the universe is kind of like, be grateful. So I say, I'm happy, I'm grateful, and appreciate. So we want to raise our vibrational frequency to what I call the Cheers to Financial Freedom frequency. So these 7 areas that we focus on every single day and every single week, every single month, every single year, we're setting intentions around them. My intentions and my vibration is obviously going to be different to yours, but we want to raise our vibrational frequency to the level that we wish to witness in the world. We're creating our own world, right? So being happy and being grateful and appreciating what you are experiencing in your life and what you want to experience more of is unlocking that code for that frequency intentionally. So we want to bring all of those areas in daily, because I don't know about you, but like I want it all. I don't want to leave an area of my life out, and that's one of the reasons why I go live daily, to talk about each area of my life, because that's where my focus is. That's what my intention is. That's what my movement is all about. All right. So, and more of us coming out from behind closed doors, managing our own mental health. And I know for you, Kalini, you talk about mental health, and for your students and for your community, and supporting us all in that. So it ties in beautifully. So I say, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. In terms of contribution, all right, let's see. For past students, all the students that I've worked with. So I was on the DM again with a student, a past student, who actually said to me, all of the work, like over the years, with the people that she's worked with. She said it at the time, but this is like years ago, 2008, 9. Oh no, not 2008, 9. That's when I started. That's not true. 2015, 16. That, I'm the person where she got the most results with, which is really beautiful. So I'm really happy and grateful for that contribution. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate health. I would say happy and grateful and appreciate the sleep that I've had and the times and hours that I have the freedom to sleep when I want to sleep is beautiful. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate the tears that flowed today, the raw and real, and because I care. And that for me feels really vulnerable, but it feels epic at the same time. It feels like I don't have walls up going into a relationship, but also being able to express the way that I feel and have an awareness of my emotions, and release them and deal with them in the moments, rather than have them push and pull me and take me out of my day. I love that. I love that. Going up and down the emotional scale. So I've gone down probably to the level of fear, and being able to go up the emotional scale. I'll figure it out where I went down, maybe at doubt, I'm not sure, and then where I've gone up again, because I'm grateful for that awareness. Happy and grateful and appreciate my environment. The bed that I have been sleeping in is lush. And the bed that I've been sleeping in and my barn conversion in my visualization is even more lush. So I'm happy and grateful and appreciate that environment, like feeling that in my guided meditation is beautiful. So I'm really happy and grateful to experience that. I'm happy and grateful to experience relationship freedom. Connecting. I had yesterday. So I've been doing some voice notes and reaching out to the people that are in the Spiritual Women Entrepreneurs and Lightworkers Free monthly networking called community. And I had a beautiful soul sister say, she posted in the group, I'm going to click the link and thank you for your lovely voice note as I'm reaching out, right? Because when you reach out and you serve, when you're reaching out to people that you haven't spoken to before, it's like, oh gosh, making that connection, it can be scary, right? And it can be scary for me too. And until you get a positive, when you get a negative, it's like, oh, it makes you shrink a little bit, but you just keep going anyway. So I was sending out messages. I put purple hearts to send out 25 messages for the day. I then got through all of them. I was just like, oh, I'm not even doing any more. And then I went to sleep. I was like, and so when I woke up, I was like, oh, shoot. So I got that message in the Facebook group of, I'm going to click the link. Anyway, she clicked the link and it gave me the Zoom notification after I'd woken up that she tried to get on the call. I'm like, it's not now. It's the first Monday of the month, but it's so beautiful. And she's like, I loved your message. And I was like, that's so lovely. Because I'm teaching to build your tribe, not just build a list building, but build a legacy. And if I do that, because I'm like, really do. Business is about relationships and holding space for our soul tribe. So that was really lovely. So I'm happy and grateful for that relationship and popping in, because it takes a lot to go into a Facebook group and actually comment even. Do you get what I mean? Never mind even come onto somebody's Zoom call that you've never even spoken to. That's huge. It is huge. And instead of us having our fear, or me having fear, you having fear, actually think of the fear that they have. Like, they need your help and support because we have soul contracts. All right. Happy and grateful and appreciate spiritual freedom. Get my house. The cards for today that jumped out at me, which I'm going to get the lessons and the message for it. I've been grateful for that energetic alignment, that I get what I need when I need it. Happy and grateful and appreciate financial freedom. Let me think. Oh, that I got a gift. I'm not going to show the gift. Yeah, I've shown the gift. A gift. I have the finances to give a gift. It's sunflowers, but it's Lego. That came today. And I'm like, there's a story behind it, but I'm not going to tell the whole story. But financial freedom, that's sat right in front of me. And so I'm really happy and grateful for that. Sunflowers are going to be a thing. It's one of my favorite flowers. So yeah, I'll tell you about the story another day. So yeah, I'm happy and grateful for that. And actually my niece, I said to her, can you order it off this particular site that she uses? And she did, and I gave her the money for it. And I gave her a little bit more because it's like, there would have been change. She tried to give me it back, and I was like, no, dude. I was like, here, it wasn't expensive, but it's just really nice to be able to choose a gift, because my love language is not gifts. So to get a gift for someone is a big hairy deal for me. All right, that is it. Let's do the Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, and I will let you go about your business today. So let's journal, right? Hopefully you've been journaling and you've been taking notes. The Soul Legacy Journal, again, is the founder of the Soul Legacy Academy. I'm all about living an intentional life, leaving your legacy. This is me, leaving my legacy. And so when we journal, part of my spiritual awakening, I talk about this every single day, part of my spiritual awakening was being in service. The Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge, I know for me and I know for my students that when we go on a journey and when we're given our gifts and we feel like we're channeling our gifts and we're being of service in the world, it doesn't really feel like the real world of a job. And it's a business, but it's a business that we've created. It's not a business that somebody's handed to us. That's why I support you in building your spiritual business model in alignment with Banking 50K in 50 Days. But my Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge is vibrational. So it's not, oh, well, we're just going to go out there and make all of this money right now. What we are going to do is be in vibrational match to receiving that money. And so it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful, it's calling in and knowing that the universe will bring the soul clients to you, right? So I invite you to play the game with me, and I invite you to live an intentional life. 49 days of intentional living, a commitment for that. Whether you are here with me every single day or not, get your journal, get a piece of whatever it is, and write down and do this journaling process with me. So I want you to write down the Bank 50K in 50 Days. This journal gives you £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. Wherever you are in the world, it gives you your currency, okay? Play along with me. What would you spend that vibrational money voucher on? And please don't go, well, I wouldn't spend it because I don't need anything. If you've got a vision and you've done your spiritual business vision board challenge with me, you've got things and experiences on the vision board. And if you've done them, add more things to your vision board. Spend the vibrational money voucher. There's rules to this game, and it is a game. I call it the soul income game. You type 10%. So that means that you are a spiritual service-based business owner, a spiritual entrepreneur, a light worker who is adding more light in the world through money, through being in service and giving money and being energetic. I love being in energetic alignment with the money flowing through you. It's a challenge, I know sometimes. It's like, oh, I've got to serve, receive the money, then give it away. Yes. So we type 10% to a worthy cause. So I call it the soul income game, because what we do for our soul work, for our soul clients, is imagining and feeling that I've already done this work. And if you're coming from a place of lack, like I can't contribute in the world, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know who I'm going to serve, blah, 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 blah. It's not that. It's visualizing yourself already. And if you don't know what it is that you want to do in the world and you want to build a business model, a spiritual business model for success, then I invite you to do this with me vibrationally and then come and get the model in the physical world. But we have to do these things vibrationally first. That is my gift to you, to have you be aware that we're coming from a space of it's already done. And this takes patience. It takes patience. So come from the space that it's already done. What are you going to spend your vibrational money voucher on? You can spend it every day with me on the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast. It's about spending the vibrational money on whichever area you need it, right? You feel like, oh, this is what I want to spend it on today. I bought my colored t-shirts with my vibrational money before I actually bought it. Well, this gift, I could have bought it with my vibrational money if I didn't have the money in the bank before I actually bought it. Do you know what I mean? I will say that I bought this right here, which you don't even think that you've got to buy it, an ISBN number. I bought 10 of them with vibrational money before I actually bought it. And it's on my book because it costs money. And as I launched the Soul Legacy TV Press, Public and Publish YouTube promotions agency, and support you in writing your book, I've bought one of those for you, right? It's an ISBN number. So it's not that you don't need any money, right? What would you spend your vibrational money voucher on? Come from the space that you're serving. You've already served your clients. You've already, again, if you don't know all of the details, then I'll support you in that. But visualize it, already speaking to, serving, getting your gifts out there, having a fair energy exchange. And I share with you how to serve one-on-one and then serve one-to-many, so that I invite you to do 50 breakthrough sessions that serve as part of this Bank 50K in 50 Days challenge, so that you can actually show up, speak out, and serve deep, and be in energetic alignment. There's no way can you serve 50 people without attachment and not make any money. There's no way. If that is the case, we've got some serious tweaking to do, right? We've got some serious alignment work to do. So I want you to bask in that. You've spent the vibrational money. You're feeling it. You're feeling it. You've already had this energy exchange. Now this allows you the freedom, the financial freedom. You've contributed. Now you're open to receiving. You're not just giving, you're open to receiving. What would you spend your money on today? If you don't want to spend it today, carry it over so you've got a bigger chunk of money the next day, up until Financial Freedom Sunday. So essentially you have 7,000 pounds, dollars, euros every single week. Right, 7K. If you had 7K in your business this week, you're welcome. How would you feel? You wouldn't feel lack. You would feel prosperous. And that's what the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is here to help you do. Feel prosperous. You've got 7K. Imagine, play with me. Type 10% for real. Go and actually type 10% to a worthy cause, or imagine it. My worthy cause is Compassionate Friends. They are a charity for bereaved parents, because I am one. I dedicate my work to my son. So imagine receiving the money and giving that to a worthy cause. It's beautiful. You're doing your soul work, supporting your clients, having a ripple effect, and then giving to others that didn't ask for it. They didn't have to do anything. Do you know what I mean? It's like passing that energy on in the world. Come from the space, there's rules. Come from the space that you've timed 10%, all your bills are paid. That's the energy that you want to come from. This is play money. Your bills are paid, you've served enough, your taxes are done, and your savings are done. Like, can you actually feel that vibration? It doesn't feel like fear. It feels like the vibration of freedom. 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast is about moving into that feeling of freedom, the vision of freedom, your value of freedom, and your vibration of freedom. Hopefully that makes sense. And I say this every day, so it's like another way to say it, right? So you play along with me for it. So spend your vibrational money voucher, write it down, post it in the Spiritual Business Vision Board challenge group. I'd love to see it. Come to the 7 Freedoms Frequency monthly call engine. If you are not a student in the Soul Legacy Academy, you can come to my masterclass. The links again will be in the show notes, in the description for it's called the Spiritual YouTubers Masterclass Bank 50K in 50 Days Challenge. It's based on my book. All of this, what I'm sharing with you, is based on my book, and I have book launch videos that talk more about this is the lifestyle and balancing that health and wealth, and I'll talk more about the soul work and the business model and some of the ideas that are in this book. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you'll get more of that. And so this is called Spiritual YouTubers from Scratch, a soul guided influencer's compass to leverage your lightwork and lifestyle on YouTube. So this is the lifestyle piece that I wanted to live. I didn't want to be a YouTuber that was out of balance, that was hiding behind closed doors in funk, excuse me, feeling like a fraud and feeling fake. There's too many people online doing all of that. It doesn't feel good. As a light worker, we want to share our gifts, but sometimes we feel like a fraud. We feel like an imposter. We feel like, but I teach you how to come out and be all of you. I've had students say to me, well, I'm just going to be me. I'm teaching them. They're like, well, I'm just going to be me. I'm like, who else were you trying to be? Just be you. So in the book and on the masterclass, I share with you how to speak to, serve, and sign up your high-paying one-to-many soul clients online, and not to overthink it, not to you want to over-deliver with what it is that you're offering, to the point of people feel like they're ripping you off. I talk about making a no-brainer offer where you figure out, okay, well, what do I offer? How much is it going to cost? Be an investment, excuse me, Therefore, how many people do I need to reach with this offer? It becomes very simple maths by the time that you're finished working with me. So the 7 Freedoms Frequency call-in gym will be a gift to you if you enroll with me in my bootcamp or my mastermind on the masterclass. All right, as early birds. The masterclass is 4 hours of free training on the last Monday of the month. All right. So I invite you to come to my community to get on a call with me. When you go to the masterclass, you'll get the link. If you want to go to the soullegacyacademy.com, which is my website, you'll get the masterclass bonuses. You'll also get a link to the call. We have a Facebook group. We also have a Telegram group, which I haven't been sharing that much. For spiritual women entrepreneurs and light workers, a free monthly networking call, which I was sharing that the lady was trying to get on. One of our soul sisters was trying to get on the call. I'm like, not now. It's the first Monday of the month at 9 p.m. UK time. I would love to have you on the call, continue on this conversation. There's many ways to continue on the conversation with me for free. And not only just with me, in community, so that you are not alone. You're not going through a spiritual awakening alone, not going through lonely light worker syndrome alone. You actually have people who are light-minded and are on a similar path to you. So that is it for Health Freedom Tuesday. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Again, every single Tuesday we reflect back on the health. We set the intentions for the next week. And do more of what's working and less of what's not. Kind of simple, right? So I will be back tomorrow for Emotional Freedom Wednesday to support you in moving up and down the emotional scale. It's the key to manifesting. It's such a beautiful day. I love it. I love all of the days of the 7 Freedoms Frequency podcast, to be fair. So that is it. Again, share your gifts, shine your light, because you are born to serve. Here's to showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. Be blessed in your soul purpose. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Soul Legacy TV, Spiritual Business Success with Iona. If you are listening to the podcast, then welcome. Still do come over to the communities that I have mentioned. Again, the links will be in the show notes and in the description. The link is in the show notes to purchase the book. Please do leave a review. Read the first chapter. Let me know how you find it. If you don't have the book and you want just to have a free chapter, I gift that on the masterclass as well. Kalini, Shamanic Soul Star TV, Cosmic Inner Healing, thank you for spending this time with me. And I guess maybe if you watch on the replay, hopefully you found value. Again, subscribe to the YouTube channel and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Big love.